Pisces, we're in the building. But first, I want to give a shout out to all my fellow Pisces out there. Gang, you already know we in the building. Also want to give a shout out to all my 2 2s and my 3 3s and my 2 2 2s and my 3 3 3s and my 7 7 7s. And shout out to any other angelical numerical numbers that I may have forgot to mention. Also want to thank everybody for coming out to support the channel. Thank you. And those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell notification to be notified of upcoming videos and content. We're gonna jump right in. It's School of Fish, and in this part 9, we're gonna talk about the 2 Pisces explained, and we're gonna talk about why does the rod bind us, okay? And we're gonna talk about how each zodiac signs respond and react to our duality. Now, let's hop in. So as you guys know, that Pisces is the most mysterious sign there is out of all the zodiac signs. Now, you talking about 2 fish, not one, but 2 fish tied to what? A single or a silver cord. Now, with this silver cord, you got 2 fish swimming in opposite directions. So you got one going up to the heavens, and then you got one towards the deep end, which is here where we are present in the moment, speaking to one another, or just as we are right now. Whereas one fish is going to the heavens, which is more connected to the spiritual side of things. Now, when it comes to 2 Pisces fish, we just ask ourselves, what does this truly mean? And why are they connected to the rod or the silver rod or the cord? And when it comes to this representation, we're going to talk about what is that spiritual purpose all about. And also we're going to talk about which zodiac signs genuinely love Pisces and who protects us through all the phases. Also, we're going to talk about why Pisces must watch the Capricorn man and the female. And we're going to talk about why you got to do this carefully. And we're going to talk about the hidden karmic tension that lies between the 2 of them. Yeah, I appreciate you coming out, Stuart. Welcome. Said the Gooners will rise again. Well, it is what it is now. But check it out. We're going to talk about this lesson between the faith and the fear, the illusion of what? The truth. And see, the rod doesn't trap the Pisces. See, a lot of times people think that the silver cord or the rod, or however you want to say it, that people think that that traps the Pisces in such a way. But no, it's not a trap. All it is what? A connection to the heavens where the dreamers lie, to the earth's what? Reality. Now, let's jump into it. Let's go a little further with it. Now, we know it's 2 fish to what? 1 soul. And see, we know one swims towards the spirit realm and the other one towards what? Survival. Now, we're going to talk about which side are you connected to? Are you more connected to your spiritual side? Or are you more connected to your survival side? Well, what's good? Be your own 10,000. What's going on? Welcome to the live. Welcome, Disciple God. What's going on? Welcome, y'all. And see, we're going to talk about the mystery, okay, of the Pisces fish and the rod. Now, the symbolism that some of you may see is just a representation of 2 fish, but all it means is duality. Now, we got the spiritual, material world, and then we got the intuition, and we got the illusion, and what else? We got the compassion versus the self-protection. Now, the rod or the silver cord, as some of you may say, that rod or that silver cord, that just ties the Pisces together. So it symbolizes the divine connection and the struggle. So this is all happening between the destiny and the desire of a Pisces. Now, the upward fish, as you guys know it, could be considered the dreamer, the artist, the healer. That's why when you're more in tune with that side of yourself, this is what you may be. You may be an artist. You may be a healer. You might be someone that, that dreams. And oftentimes that becomes your reality. Now, the downward fish is the one that's more connected to empathy. That's more the empath one. That's connected to the one that absorbs other people's pain. See, that's why they say be careful when you are in tune with the fish going downstream within yourself, because that's where you could get taken advantage for, because everybody will take that empathy, but they won't reciprocate, vice versa. Now, Pisces, the real strange thing about all of this is the fact that Pisces lives in what? Both. See, lives in the survival of the fish going downstream and then the fish going upstream. So yes, a Pisces can be spiritual and grounded at the same time. See, now, when it comes to the next thing is the fact that that's why people misunderstand you, Pisces, because you could be both, operating out of both frequencies, and then you could go from spiritual and then turn to the grounded version. So people might not understand you when you're speaking from a spiritual point or a spiritual, you may operate out of your spiritual side, or hey, what your beliefs are, more than your physical, what you do day to day. You might not even explain that to people. That could just be something personal for you that you find that is your business only. Now, when it comes to the next thing I have is that it's not that the rod is like a chain. We discussed that. It's not like, oh, you're trapped because you got the chain or the rod. That doesn't mean, that's not what it means. But it's crazy because with all the other zodiac signs, there oftentimes is a reaction to it. See, everybody reacts to the duality of a Pisces differently. And when it comes to this, let's talk about Aries. What is the reaction like? Well, oftentimes Aries gets confused by Pisces duality. And see, why is this? Is because Aries wants that directness. So when you have a time to think about what you're going to say, what you're going to do, when you're a Pisces, you start to think of what will happen if I do this. Well, hey, I could be, I could say something from the spiritual side, but where does Aries understand it? And then on top of that, a Pisces mood shifts. See, that throws Aries off. See, because the Aries is what? Expecting the directness. So a Pisces mood can shift, and it could go in regards to what? Testing the Aries patience. Because Aries doesn't have much patience. So that's the very thing that can happen and can really get frustrated because they're not getting what they want to, getting what they actually want to hear, or how they want to hear is not done in the same sense. Now, when you're dealing with Taurus responds to a Pisces duality, and their reaction is what? Protectiveness. See, because what ends up happening is, see, the routine of a Taurus likes to, they like to have things done a certain type of way, only to their comfort, their comfortability. Now, why is this? Because they can feel a Pisces softness. See, they can feel a Pisces softness. So with the whole reaction that a Taurus will feel in a situation to the two fish, that's what they will feel. That could be problem. That could be a huge problem though, because that can make a Taurus all of a sudden just want to control you, just because they want to be protected in such a sense that they feel like, oh, you could be so soft that they could become influenced. Let me see. Welcome Empress. AA7 said Aries are arch nemesis. Yeah, I mean, Aries is an arch nemesis, but it's crazy because, like, I think it's like when you dealing with an Aries, you're dealing with somebody that wants to get involved in something, but doesn't, especially if they have let's say they have a moon in Cancer, or let's say they got like a rise in Aquarius or so. It's like, especially when it comes to Mercury, let's say they got Mercury, in Pisces. then all of a sudden, like, they could be the type of person where it's hard to really find out what they want, and they can be more manipulative about what they want, because they won't just say what they want. So they know how to switch it up. What's going on, James Hustle? What's going on? Or Jay, yeah, said, I appreciate you coming out. And see, the next time we talk about is Gemini. Now, Gemini, the reaction that Gemini is going to have towards a Pisces, the two fish, to be exact, is the curiosity, okay? And them being this way will make them become more inconsistent, see? So they don't know what to feel when they're around two fish, when they're around that duality of a Pisces, see? Now, what this does is that the both of you are a dual sign. So this is why you share the same type of element, you share the same type of vibe modality, you share the same, and that's why you may feel like you're similar to a Gemini, but it hits a little different though. Because when you put it like this, when you're a Pisces and you come across a Gemini, you're going to instantly feel that duality. You're going to feel like there's multiple things going on all at once. See, it's like a roller coaster, but except there's no emotions. It's like you get on the ride, you go for it, you go through all these flips and turns and twists, and it's almost like you have no control over what is going on while you're on that ride. But the only thing you can feel is not your emotions. You can feel the air, see? And that's kind of like when you feel just the air alone and you're a water sign, it just blows you in all these different directions. It's almost like you might just want to shut the window for once, see? Because that Gemini can be so busybodied that you don't have time to think. When you're around a Gemini, you don't have time to just like sit and just wait, think about things first. It's kind of like, oh, let's just go, let's get going, let's leave, let's go here, let's go by my aunt's house, let's go to the mall, let's go to the downtown, because they get bored easily. So they could have a Pisces like all over the place, all over the city, and just Pisces might feel like the intuition is being disregarded. Like, okay, is that even the move to take right now? Should we even go to your aunt's house? Like, does your aunt even know we're coming over? So this is stuff like that. Let's see now, when it comes to a Cancer, the reaction that they may feel is that it may feel safe for them. See, it may feel though that's a safe place for a Cancer to open up. Now, both Pisces and a Cancer, they may both have that mutual empathy for one another. So that could be something they can feel, where oftentimes when you are a Cancer, you will feel comfortable around your Pisces relative, loved one, colleague. You will feel that mutual empathy before you even know they're a Cancer. Now, when it comes to Leo can become fascinated, but then all of a sudden they can become frustrated. See? And why is this? Because they may feel that validation. They may seek that from the Pisces, and see if they don't get that, get frustrated, because they want to get the claps and they want to get the attention. But if they feel like it is not easily given, that could frustrate a Leo regarding a Pisces. Because once you show attention to that Leo and you're a Pisces, all of a sudden it's almost like a cat. If you have a pet cat, and if you notice, like when you have a pet cat as a, and then all of a sudden, you pet the cat, and all of a sudden, if the cat doesn't like you, it's kind of like the cat is always getting away from you, moving from you. But then if you sit still and just do your own thing, the cat comes by you and then wants you to pet. It's pretty much on their terms. So if you pet the cat and it wants to be, pet, then all of a sudden now everything's all good. That's how Leos are. Like, once you help them Like they'll help you, but if you have to help them in return, because if you don't help a Leo right away, they will feel as though you're trying to take advantage, and then they will seek the validation like, oh, why you don't do this enough, or hey, you don't stay long enough, or you don't spend enough time. So it's stuff, and in that moment, they're seeking the validation to know if they are close to you or not. So especially they could get jealous if you spend more time with your relatives versus them. If it's something like, oh, you may be dating a Leo, or you may be married to one. If you cut time from spending time with them to go be with the other people, then they will get frustrated from that, because they want all your attention, undivided. Now, when it comes to a Virgo, they can get intimidated by the depth of a Pisces, by the two fish, the duality. So a Virgo, basically, why is this? Because they're the opposite of Pisces. Now, when it comes to Libra, a Libra could be drawn to a Pisces duality. Why? Because it feels calm. See, they're drawn to the calmness. Now, another thing too of why that is because they love the whole idealism of the whole being able to talk about different types of things and in a social aspect. So that's something to keep in mind. What's going on? J Hud said, no doubt they love each other. Facts. Breezy Ice said, when I go to a mirror every year, all smell is high. That's crazy. He said, have everybody heard of a salad? Yeah, that's crazy. See, Ronnie Boo, what's going on? Welcome. Appreciate y'all coming out too. So yeah, that's that. And then Scorpio, they may have that, just feel bonded magnetically. So usually they can feel that there's some type of shift going on, but at the same time, they'll be drawn to it rather than resisting to it. So, and why is that? Why? It's because it's a shared mystery between Pisces and Scorpio. So that could be something to think about. Like I say, Sagittarius is what intrigued by the whole duality of a Pisces, but at the same time, they're distant. See, because it's so powerful that it can make a Sagittarius is afraid of that something will make them lose their freedom. So they will oftentimes want to distance themselves from something that they may find that is, very good or a comfortable situation for them. Now, the biggest fear for a Sagittarius regarding a Pisces is that fear of that emotional depth. If things get too deep, that a Sagittarius may simply not be able to swim like that Pisces. So let's say a Pisces can talk about some deep stuff, right? Let's just say anything. If the topics are too emotional or that require for, the smallest of emotional support, I don't think a Sagittarius will be able to stick around to hear, the depths of that emotional experience, story, conversation. They'll want to get the hell up out of there. Now, another thing too, when it comes to Capricorn actually respects the duality of a Pisces, but here's the catch though. At the same time, they will test Pisces even if they feel that, I like the fact that you have your spiritual side and then you have your survival side with your empathy ready. So Capricorn can test you there to see how strong your structure is. And see, that goes and ties with what? Earth versus water. See? Now, when it comes to Aquarius, they just may be emotionally curious of why they may be fascinated by a Pisces in its duality. So when it comes to why, it's because of the whole mental versus the spiritual aspect of things, where, Aquarius intellectualizes things emotionally. So if they could get that type of situation from a Pisces mentally, then it'll just be, that whole idea of what mentally is going on versus spiritually of what's going on. Now, Pisces and Pisces, what happens here? Well, there's a divine reflection between the two of them. So you almost see yourself in that Pisces as if vice versa. Now, why? Is because you can see yourself in that other Pisces as a soulmate or your shadow side. See, because Pisces can be everything that you would like or not. See, now another thing, there is some good things to other signs regarding Pisces. Now, I mentioned the dark sides and the shadow side, so just know that that's for someone that's unhealed. But the signs that truly love Pisces is what? Scorpio. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Scorpio, they love through pain. See? They love through pain. And they see your soul, not your face. See? Because they see behind the mask as well. Now, Cancer is the next one. And why? It's because they can see that you protect your heart from the cold worlds, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, when you're a Pisces, you automatically know where you know, it's basically like you know where you're wanted. You go where you're wanted. You don't necessarily go anywhere. And if someone was to mention something to you, you will oftentimes wait to see if that's a place that you are wanted, or hey, that you know someone that you're cool with. Now, Taurus, when it comes to a Taurus and why they love a Pisces, is the fact that because a Pisces stays grounded even when the emotions flood. See, and then another thing is the fact that Capricorn, now we talking about healed Capricorn, not unhealed, is the fact that they may simply just offer the stability and direction if they feel like, oh, they face their ego. See, but that's the thing, when you dealing with Capricorn, sometimes I would say it like this: you can instantly feel if that Capricorn is healed or unhealed, because a Capricorn ego is huge. See, and the ego is because they may feel that they put more time into something than you. See, now I'm going to get into why you need to watch a Capricorn, male or female. And see, let's look at it. Let's look at the history of it. Capricorn energy is ruled by what? What planet? Saturn, okay? When it comes to Saturn, this is a planet of structure, discipline, and what? Control. So while Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is about what? Dreams, illusions, and surrendering, then that's what creates that it's like the magnetism plus the danger. See? Because listen, if you have to have discipline and structure and control in the first place, that wouldn't apply to something that's already a good thing. That's because there's danger. That's why you would have to be disciplined and structured. So that tells you, in just the whole survival mechanisms of how a Capricorn applies themselves to a situation, is usually dangerously done. So they have to be disciplined. They have to have that self-control. They have to have that structure, see, to stay focused and keep going and keep climbing. Now, when it comes to when it's healthy between a Capricorn and a Pisces, well, like I say, a Capricorn can give Pisces that form, because Pisces is what? Formless. So with a Capricorn being able to give that Pisces form, a Pisces can give in exchange to that Capricorn feeling. See? Because why? Being from a cold world, living in a cold world, oftentimes robs you of what? Your emotions. See? Because you have to what? Adapt to your surrounding, your environment. But if a Capricorn was to be friends or to stick around a Pisces for a longer period of time, then oftentimes those emotions will be felt, where it will actually be like a light bulb turning on for that Capricorn, of which like, oh, well, wow, like I'm able to feel again, actually feel the numbness in my hands now. Before I didn't feel anything there. So that's the amazing thing between a Capricorn, both male, female, and a Pisces. Now, this is when it gets toxic though. See, when things get toxic between the Capricorn and Pisces, it could be like this. I'm gonna give you guys a couple scenarios. See, a Capricorn can look at a Pisces as being too emotional, and then this is where the Capricorn pushes the boundary. Is when they try to manage you without you asking for it. See, you gotta know the complexities, the difficulties, and the challenges occur when a Capricorn takes the boundary that is there, throws it in the garbage can. See, and then what happens within that Capricorn is that they become your boss. You're confused because you're like, hey, I didn't ask for a boss and I didn't ask you to be my manager, so why are you being bossy all of a sudden? Because you think of the emotions like this. See, the emotions can be the emotion that a Pisces has is definitely, I'll say it can be, and oftentimes is depicted as an illusion. See, so you think that Capricorn going through that cold world, could be half fish and half seagull, right? But their whole motive and agenda is to climb. See, they want that status quo. They want to be successful. They want to keep that image. So if there's water around them and they're trying to climb, the last thing they're thinking about is staying in that water, staying in that emotional environment. Too long could make them drown. See, if they drown emotionally, they can't build, they can't push away boundaries, they can't do anything because they'll be emotionally driven. See, but it's because they don't know how to manage emotions. So how they feel is that, let's get rid of this whole idea of the depths of how one feels, and let's just work hard and let's just get this done without any emotion, without feeling that, because they think that it gets in the way. Capricorns feel like the emotions is like the kryptonite to Superman. It's like once they even hear you try to say something of how you feel about something, it could be an idea, that alone can piss off a Capricorn to where they will actually they would get frustrated. They'll get mad because that's a place that they don't want to go to. See, they don't even want to hear anything emotionally about nothing. So when this they may also, like I say, so they may oftentimes just be bossy and just want to manage the Pisces. They'll help themselves to this. Now, what may happen is that a Pisces may just start walking on eggshells when they're around that Capricorn. All of a sudden, when you know that the tables turn or the energy shift, that's when a Pisces will realize that, hey, I'm walking on eggshells. Because if I come with the emotions, this Capricorn is he or she is gonna go off. You can't tell a Capricorn how you feel. If they even hear you speak, they're gonna get pissed. They'll get defensive. They'll start saying stuff like, no, that's not what we doing. That's not what we doing. They get loud and they try to cut you off mid-sentence because they don't have a relationship with themselves emotionally. They can't relate. They don't know how. They don't have an answer for it. So you could sit there and say, hey, I just feel like you're coming on too strong. That could be enough to set a Capricorn off. They don't understand it. They're going to look at you as though you're speaking a different language. Like, what are you talking about? And you like, man, I don't feel comfortable. What do you mean you don't feel comfortable? Like, what's not comfortable? And that's like, what don't you get about I don't feel comfortable. It's just like, A Capricorn will instantly think that you are just making excuses for not wanting to, succeed, or, they'll look at that as being a distraction. They'll try to separate it, compartmentalize that whole thought, or you just simply you thinking like that. They'll try to change they'll try to change the way you think about your life. And see, that's where they can get beside themselves, is they can use people as pillars, as structures to rise to what? The top. Because they can test you and see that, oh, you're not really, you have a business, but you don't know how to run a business. So they may know how to, so then they can steal your ideas, steal your half started business that's, not, maybe it's not fully made yet, but they may help themselves to it and say, hey, let's get the ball rolling. Okay, what do you need now? Okay, well, we're going to get this. And then they'll start doing all the work, but then they want all the credit, see, because it's the ego takes over once they see that, oh, you're sitting on the fence and you don't really know what to do next, or you're just not doing it. Now, when it comes to Capricorn, a Capricorn is a very good actor. See, a Capricorn can appear to be boring or too serious, just to test you to see, to see how you will react. See, the whole time, see, they very calculative when they do things. They test you to see what you would do, how would you respond, with your energy change according to theirs. And what they may do is they may use silence or logic to what? Maintain power. Them acting bored and serious can be that can be a weapon used against you. See? And like I say, it's done to what? It's done to maintain power over you. So imagine if a Capricorn is helping themselves to you regarding your business, and they're doing all the work as if it were theirs. They're going to have the power in the situation. So then you're going to feel like, oh, this person just took over. See? And it's because you did not stop them when they took away your boundary and threw it in the garbage. See? Because that boundary is like, that's your structure. That was your idea. You made that business. Just because you were slow at doing, maybe you got busy. But if you put a Capricorn to it, they will outwork you. They will outwork you to where that of which you were struggling with, or let's say you just didn't have time to finish your business. You didn't have time to do the hiring or the onboarding process. And all of a sudden you put a Capricorn. A Capricorn is a cardinal sign. They would take the initiative and say, okay, well, hey, give me the book, train, hey, I'll hire, I'll do this. And then they'll take it upon themselves and say, I'm going to hire some people this week. You didn't ask them to do that. See, but if you let them push that boundary and you don't stop them and you don't reinforce it, guess what? That Capricorn is going to try to take all the power and all the credit, and he or she can literally steal your business from you. Because they'll just find a way to get you up out of there. See, they'll look at you as being, oh, you're too slow, or hey, what may take you 2 weeks, I can finish it all in one day. See, and all of a sudden, once they do the onboarding and they hire the 4 or 5 people that it took you 2 months to do because you were busy or whatever the excuse was, the Capricorn will X you out of the whole equation, even though it's your stuff. See, so they have a spirit where they can just take over, outwork you, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh, hey man, you're running the show, you're running my shit. Like I didn't ask you to run anything. Well, hey, you had no workers. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even have the 8 people that are here. And then it's like you'll start feeling like, you know, minimized, like smaller than the Capricorn, because them doing those little few things, it's like they're trying to wear your shoes in a sense. So as soon as they do that, they're looking at themselves as being you or being bigger than you in your own shit, and then that makes you feel like, oh, quitting, surrendering, giving it up. Well, hey man, you can. I've seen a store manager, get minimized by a Capricorn, and then this guy wasn't even on that level. He wasn't a store manager. He was just a regular manager, assistant manager. Don't you know he outworked the store manager to where she resigned? And guess what he became? Store manager. That's cold-blooded, man. Because what he did was he had her train him on all the shit she didn't want to do. That was a mistake. What he really did was he took the boundary and threw it in the fucking trash and said, hey, I don't care if you're a store manager, teach me how to do store manager work. And then she, being lazy, she trained him how to do store manager work, how to hire, and how to, you know, disciplinary, how to cook certain things, how to close the store, how to open the store, how to count all the money at the end of the night. This man did it all. He did it better than her because he wasn't lazy. And he didn't cut corners. This man will have the store opened up in the morning, closed at night, floor swept, everything done. He outperformed her to where, hey, he stole her job, in other words, just because she was just lazy. See, you got to be careful with Capricorn, because Capricorn is very strategic. See, calculative. You can't go about it. You cannot look. See, if the person is compartmentalizing their emotions and they're putting them in the cupboard, they're putting them in the dresser, saving them for later. Hell, they might not never go into that sock drawer at all. So all of a sudden you're dealing with someone that's not, it's just, oh, yeah, they're human, but they're more like an entity, okay? Because you cannot approach them emotionally with anything. It's no, oh, you feel where I'm coming from? No, it's no feel where you coming from with Capricorn. See? I just feel like, man, you're trying to steal my business. They don't think, they're not going to respond the way that you're trying to hold them accountable emotionally. They're not gonna back up, they're not gonna back down, they're not gonna give in, they're not gonna give up. See? When you're dealing with Capricorn, you have to be your own man. You have to play chess, not checkers. You have to mentally outsmart them. And if you have them do anything for you, let it be something that won't require them to move up. And they absolutely can't get any credit for doing that extra task. See? And then they'll respect you once they see they can't outsmart you. See? Which is ass backwards, but it's just, unfortunately, that's how this earth sign is. Now, when it comes to the next thing, I just give you guys a few more examples. See, a Capricorn man may what? Guilt trip you, Pisces, into thinking that you're overreacting. See? They're simply still trying to take the boundary from you. Take your own boundary. See? Now, another example is a Capricorn woman. She might test the Pisces loyalty by what? Withholding affection on purpose. She may take away the sex just to see if you're loyal. That's not fair at all. That's evil as hell. Because you are what? A man, you're born with what? Your counterparts, and it is what it is. So she just takes the affection away just because she wants to test your loyalty. That's cold-hearted, calculated, strategic as hell. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? See, but here's the thing: Capricorn is a karmic sign. So what? So is Pisces. So there always is what? A karmic lesson. And what is this karmic lesson that Capricorn realizes that they gotta pass is what? Capricorn what? Teaches Pisces one thing, and Pisces teaches Capricorn something. Capricorn teaches Pisces boundaries. That's cold-blooded because, listen, Capricorn is about structure, discipline, control, right? So that's what Saturn is about. If Capricorn would take your boundary and throw it in the trash, that means that you never had it there. You never had it there in the first place. Because a boundary is supposed to keep what? It's supposed to keep a person out of your situation, not being able to be that close to something that belongs to you or something that is a part of you. So if you don't have any boundaries, anybody could just take over. So Capricorn is what? To a Pisces, Capricorn tests your boundaries, Pisces. Capricorn is like, oh, wait a minute. This fence here is a 12-foot fence. But is it a plastic fence or is it a steel fence? Can I break it, crush it up, and throw it in the trash? Or is it made up on the right structure or the foundation, right? So that's what a Capricorn does. If you look at it in this analogy, it will make more sense to you because this is what they do. They look at your boundaries and they're like, oh, this is blocking me from being the boss of this store. So, well, wait a minute, there's a crack opening here and it's made out of sheet metal, but hey, I can bend it. See? So they'll take it and knock it down. They'll destroy it, throw it in the garbage, and all of a sudden they just come for you. They just come and take over. They take that project from you and make it theirs. Take your idea and just expound. It could be for a good. Now, I'm not saying it's always a bad idea. Some companies need a facelift. Some companies that are, going out of business or have people in that industry or company that don't really want to work there, a Capricorn can go in there and clean it up. Make it actually, make it actually clean, put the right people in it, have it lit. Actually have people come in there to eat. Actually have people come in there to buy stuff all of a sudden. So Capricorn is not all bad. I'm just letting you guys know they are here to test boundaries. Now, especially with Pisces, because this is how Pisces is. Pisces, it's not that a Pisces is weak. It's just that Pisces likes to see the good in everyone. So when it comes to trick-or-treating, Pisces is the type of sign that leave the candy bowl outside and have a sign that says, hey, you may have to take 2 or take 1. But the reality is that the kids are not going to come and take just 1. If anything, they're going to come and take the whole damn bowl and put it in the bag. But see how Pisces tries to see the good in all the kids, to actually, hey, take 1 candy, have a sign out. But the reality is you can't think like that. People will come and take the whole damn bowl. See, they're not going to just take 1. So with Capricorn will make it to where the structure of and have it set up to where you have to get 1 candy. You only get 1 or 2 candies because that's all that's available. There's no bowl. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the boundary is perfectly placed because they have the whole thing operating like it should. See, that's the thing. One thing how structuring from a Capricorn is almost like it's built on a strong foundation. But see, when water comes, what does it do to foundations? It floods them, right? It breaks it down. Because if you have structure around Pisces, Pisces was going to dissolve the boundaries. Because listen, even if you have boundaries, the same thing can happen. This is what Pisces does to all the zodiac signs, shows you that even if I'm looking at the good and all, bad things can still happen. Bad things can still happen even if you apply structure to everything. Where you tell the kids that they can only get 1 or 2 and that's all you put out there, well, guess what? You will always have one kid that will try to outthink your structure and find his weak spot. Maybe they might actually go for the door and see what is putting those 2 pieces of candy out in the first place. See? So it's like even your reality doesn't really mean that, oh, that's safer, that's smart, that's the most smartest way. So what a Pisces would teach a Capricorn is that loyalty, loyalty, well, you will have to give me affection to get that real loyalty. So it's the opposite. Now, another thing is the fact that Pisces teaches Capricorn what? Surrender. Because you can't always have it your way. That's the ego. Ego wants all the attention, all the power and all this, and to be all minds. And that Pisces is like, no, Capricorn, you cannot just be self-sufficient and just greedy and just all about you. So where Capricorn teaches Pisces boundaries, Pisces teaches Capricorn surrendering. And see, but here's the catch. But see, neither should replace love with what? Control. Because Capricorn will disregard your emotions, Pisces, and will try to teach you control regarding those boundaries. Because if you do not harp on that, if you don't focus on those boundaries the way they do, they'll start looking at you as being weak. And they'll try to minimize your efforts and your attributes and everything that you're good for. They won't even trust you starting anything with them, building anything together. Now, the next thing is energetic awareness for Pisces. The fact that how to know when the energy shifts, okay? When you're a Pisces, when the energy shifts, what are you going to feel? You're going to feel drained. And when is this? After the conversations that you have, see? Especially the ones that used to energize you, all of a sudden they don't do it anymore. The next thing is you start over-explaining yourself. The next thing is that you start feeling suddenly guilty, or you start to self-doubt without even a clear reason of why. Next thing is that you may feel as though that you're being sensitive when this is happening, but you're not. See, it's just your intuition that's warning you, Pisces, that someone's tone or someone's energy has changed before their words has, okay? Now, what you got to do, Pisces, is you got to act immediately when this happens. When you feel like this, you got to pull back. You got to stay calm. You got to observe, see? And not even when you observe, make sure you pay attention to the peace or the chaos that's happening around you. See? Now, a lesson for Pisces in your polarity is the fact that when a Pisces gets hurt, now it's not about just getting hurt. When you get too hurt, that can make a Pisces flip into your opposite polarity, which is Virgo. See? When a Pisces gets too hurt, what happens? A Pisces becomes analytical, detached. And also, that's when a Pisces becomes a perfectionist, it hits on a different level. See? But this is the thing, this is a good thing about when a Pisces gets too hurt and they start to reach for their polarity, Virgo, is the fact that would bring order, that would bring plans, or organize environments and situations and discipline that you will need. But the negative side is that it could become critical for you. It could become, you know, in a point of you self-blaming yourself, and you could become emotionally distant all of a sudden. But it's just your survival instinct. So just don't live in that mind state permanently, okay? Now, one thing about the two fish is they don't fight each other. So it's not that your spiritual side will go against your survival side, you know. And then another thing too, if both of the fish within the Pisces are balanced, then this would mean that, okay, one remembers the heavenlies, and then one, like I say, survives the earth realm. So it's almost like, yeah, the rod is not a leash. Just know that it's not a chain. It's just a reminder that you were never meant to drown. See, you're never meant to drown. So even if you're at your lowest point, which is you basically become, it's like if you're at your lowest point and you become lost in it to where you can't get yourself out of that, you will rise to the surface. See, it will balance itself out. So it's like, yeah, the fish going upstream to the heavens and the fish going down to earth. Even if you're doing very bad, it's not gonna be forever. See, so you will balance yourself. And see, when it comes to this, is the fact that, yeah, you were never meant to drown. See, Pisces always finds themselves going through the struggle and then coming out of it. See, coming out of it stronger. May have been in a situation where they lost, but then they won't stay like that. Eventually they're gonna come up. See, now when it comes to, you will be able to rise in both worlds when this happens, in that survival and the spiritual side of things. Now, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is self-undoing. Okay, what does self-undoing really mean? Now, it's funny because some people say like, oh, isn't that just like tying your shoes and then, hey, let's just self-undo it and untie them? You know, that could be an analogy. You could think of it like that. But see, it doesn't mean that a Pisces wants to destroy themselves when they self-undo. See, what it means is that a Pisces dissolves what no longer fits them. See, so it's like Pisces puts on a pair of shoes that are too fucking tight. Self-undoing just mean, hey, it's time to get rid of those shoes. They don't fit anymore. Oh, these friends that I've been friends with since I was a kid, hey, it's just not working out. I got to get rid of them. See, it's just clean. A Pisces just self-undo what doesn't fit anymore. It just gets rid of the shit that it's not working anymore. It's not popping like it used to be. See, when you used to wear those shoes, them new Jordans that you bought, and they was a fresh pair, and hey, it probably was a size 10, and what, you a size 12. You outgrew those shoes. So hey, they're not gonna fit the same. So if you outgrow a situation, you have to get rid of that situation that you outgrew. It'll be insanity to think like, oh, I've evolved and hey, I'm living my best life. Why the hell would I go back to 1996? I wouldn't do that. You shouldn't either. And see, unless you're delusional, but there's power in delusion, being delusional. Or being delusional, there's power in that too, but we already covered that already. But yeah, this just means that you just dissolve what no longer fits you. Now, being the last sign of the zodiac, basically it carries all the 12 archetypes. Now, when it comes to a Pisces that feel overwhelmed, they may just subconsciously just start shedding those identities. See, it's very powerful. Now, you may just start shedding those identities. Because why? Some archetypes you just don't need. You won't need the archetypes of those certain signs because they don't apply to you. You may have outgrown many of them that, hey, it's no need for me to have that archetype of what, of an Aquarius right now. I could just be in this season, according to these transits, I could just be Pisces. What do I need all these archetypes for? What's going on, Misty Love? Welcome. And see, the thing about it is, listen, some of you may say, oh, this stuff it's not true, it's not this. Okay. Everybody entitled to their opinions, okay? But let's look at how many things that are foresaw, just like right now. What is going on in the world today? Donald Trump is talking about ending SNAP food stamps, right? He said, so we're ending the very thing that everybody needs, right? But the excuse is the government is shut down, right? That's just the excuse for what's really happening. That's the illusion. But wait a minute. Let's go back. Rewind back to the time of events. If you voted for him, right? Let's think about this. Just how you say, oh man, you talking about this Pisces stuff and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Oh man, that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. So if you're a politician and you believe everything that politician stands for, and you think that person is going to stick to what they said they were going to do, you're a fool for believing him. Especially if he's a human and what? He makes mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's not perfect. But it's worse when you actually think someone's good and they're not. See, making a decision. Now, let me tell you something. The archetype of a Gemini. Donald Trump is a Gemini, right? Let me tell you what's going on. See, the first time Donald Trump ran for president, he wanted everybody to see a certain side. See, to suck everybody in through manipulation of communication. Right? Now, we know Geminis are what? Inconsistent, liars, cheaters, the twins, right? So people are caught up in Donald Trump and what he says, because he knows how to say things in a certain way to make somebody do something. See, he knows exactly what to say to make it sound like something that someone else wouldn't say. Then this is the manipulation. You hear what he says, but he doesn't mean what he says, man. It's inconsistency. He's just playing on your wants, your desires, and he manipulates it to get people to do what he wants them to do and think how he wants you to think. Because I'm going to tell you what's really going to happen. See, November 1st, everybody, supposedly going to lose, anybody that's on food stamps, they're going to lose the stamps, right? But here's the thing. This is the ground for what is what to come, right? I'm telling you guys how this Gemini archetype is. And Donald Trump being a Gemini is the fact that he's going to implement the chip, see, the B system, see, and what he's doing is he's testing the world. He's testing everybody with this food stamp thing and trying to see how bad people want this and how bad do people rely on the SNAP benefits, right? Because the trade-off is when they drop that B system on us, where you have to get that microchip put inside of you, implanted in your arm or wherever for you to be able to get food, it's going to be based off that desperation. See, it's going to be based off of the way how he says it. Oh, you have to have that chip to get anything because the government is shut down. People out of fear are running go get that chip implanted because they want to keep those food stamps coming. It's manipulation, man. It's a manipulation for what? Did I say? Mercury is destructive. By what? Communication. Socialism. Not politics, man. Politics is an illusion to make you think you have control of how the world works, right? No man can control the world. So if I'm sitting here talking about Pisces and signs, well, you could see the signs, you could see the inconsistencies just by looking at Donald Trump and him being a Gemini. What he says is not what he does. So it's what? Superficial, right? How you gonna say you're gonna do something and then 2 minutes later you do the total opposite thing? There's no you can't trust him. So everybody that voted for him is just as dumb as I would say just as dumb as him, okay? Put it like that. Because if you really know, if you say something, you should do it, right? You should carry it out. But there's no integrity. It's just a shit show. That's what Gemini does, man. They just say things and do things just on a humbug. What a point go in the White House and just fire everybody. What sense did that make? He don't even care who you are. You could be who. Didn't I say I got fired by a Gemini woman for no reason? She just literally got me fired, and she didn't know my who I'm feeding, if I needed that job or not. How, she didn't give a damn. She just fired me. See, this Geminis are reckless like that, fam. Now, getting back to this. So I just mentioned the beast system. So you got to look at 666. You got to look at the beast system, the mark of the beast. Because a lot of people are going to end up trusting that. They're going to trust and put their whole reliance on that chip just to eat. Do you know how many people waste their food stamps when they were basically? I went to be doing Instacart. I'm in the grocery store. This is all I see in people's carts or their orders. Junk food. There's no nutrition in junk food, obviously. But you see all these people, grocery list is all Oreo cookies, Little Debbie fun cakes. Nothing in there. You barely see anything nutritious. Just junk, just carbs, just a whole bunch of trash food, right? And it's like, dude, you're wasting the stamps. Just go get a job, because if you get a job, then you'll actually pick nutritional foods, because that's your money that you're spending on the food, right? But as long as the food is the stems or whatever it is are free, you just go and waste it. See? Anyway. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying some of the people that get them, they just waste them. So I'm just saying all that's going to do is that people are going to just be, I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of pandemonium. It's going to be people doing the same crap that happened during COVID. They're going to be doing those riots and busting in stores and trying to take just for them 2 months. But they're doing a trial, see? They're doing a test run to see. They want people to act a fool and to speed up that whole B system, see? The launch of the B system. They're going to say, oh, well, it's all these people are willing to go in the stores and loot. So, hey, let's just go ahead and get martial law in here, Let's get martial law going, and, hey, let's just, let's make it to where, hey, you can only get food if what? You take that chip. See, now, when it comes to the self-undoing, now, when you subconsciously just start shedding those identities, that could be jobs, that no longer serve you, that you've outgrown. That could be friends, that can be habits, it can be relationships. And hey, you are shedding those what? Those identities so that you can find spiritual silence again. See? Now, one thing about Pisces is Pisces doesn't crash out. See? They don't crash out. Now, what they do is they dissolve the illusions. See? They dissolve the illusions that was drowning them in the first place. See? The illusion is that Ray, Shaquita, Dante, and Earl were your friends when you were in kindergarten, and that they are still your friends as an adult right now. See? That's an illusion. Because why? It's a freaking lie. Earl steals, Shaquita doesn't work, blase, and all of a sudden these people are just bringing you down left and right. It's time to let go of those friends. Now, just remember, illusions can be bad. Now, illusions can be bad or good. You have to know what is good in it. See, you have to be able to see that. You got to be able to see the truth within that illusion. Now, why do Pisces escape? We hear and talk about escapism. Why do Pisces escape? Well, it's because we know Neptune is what? Pisces ruler. Now, what does it do? Govern that imagination, dreams, and the transcendences, right? But it's only when reality gets too loud, see, or cruel. When, just like in the times we living in now. So it's all about what? Pisces nervous system. It reaches what? For the only medicine that it knows, which is somewhere else. See? Do you notice that when you're going through a tough time, let's say you're going through a breakup, it may be taxing on your nervous system, right? But you ever notice why you go out and have a smoke, or you just go somewhere else? It always feels better there. See? Because a Pisces sees that silence of going in the backyard. Hey, you take your break at work, but you go outside and walk a block or two away from the job site, and you could just breathe better there. Look at it in such a way like that. Now, there's types of escapes. It's not like an escape, go for a rendezvous. I'm not just talking about that type of escape. You got your high escape where, hey, you might puff pass, and hey, that's an escape, a form of an escape. It could be spiritually done where, hey, you could do a fast, go on a cleanse, light some candles, and hey, go through meditation, drink some tea, prayer, and creativity, right? There's also an experience of an emotional escape that you can do through music, art, drawing, writing. Also, you could do a mental escape that could be done by daydreaming or just storytelling. Or you could go through a physical escape, which is through what? Nature, walking, go for a walk, go to the lake, go, the solitude ship that one would do just by traveling. Now, there's an unhealthy form of escape, see? And this is all about what? Being a blind bat, being what? Blind when it comes to faith. It could, or going through a cult-like dependence, see? It could be an unhealthy form of escape if you get to a, emotional overmerging, see? Because that can get you off course. You get caught up in all those weird fantasies that, us Pisces tend to have. So it could be the fantasy of relationships that are not realistic. So you got to be careful. Now, another unhealthy form of escape would be what? Denial, procrastination. Oh, yeah, it's time to pay the rent. But hey, let's just wait another day so it'll be late again, late another day. It's just certain things that, see, you got to really watch that escape. when it happens. Now, another form of escape that's unhealthy is isolation, addiction. See? So that's why I say be careful with, because when it comes to Pisces and Neptune, just know that it can send you stuff. It can show you things in two different ways, both good or bad. See, you have to be able to know which one to trust, which one to listen to, because you may feel like escaping a situation, but just make sure you do it healthy, because Neptune is going to offer you both. Neptune is going to say, hey man, go have a drink, man, go to the strip club. And see, if you feeling vulnerable, you might just go, Pisces, because there's nothing bounding you or holding you. There's nothing saying no, you're staying right here. I'm gonna tell you like what's powerful. You might feel the need to escape, and all of a sudden those doors open to where you ain't gotta have no money, you ain't gotta have no car. Somebody will literally offer to take you there. That's just how fast and dangerous that those escapes can be for a Pisces. Now, when it comes to the core triggers, pay attention to these. For a Pisces, pay attention to what triggers you to escape in the first place. You could want to do this by having what? An emotional overload. It sounds like a Sunday, doesn't it? Doesn't it, JK? It sounds like a Sunday, right? And you ever try that emotional overload from the ice cream place? Should try it sometime. But here's the thing. That emotional overload, a Pisces feels what? They may absorb too much of others' emotions, situations, illusions, pain, until what? Until what? They can't tell whose feelings that they feel. Is this mine or is it theirs? And see, that's because that emotional overload happens, so you can't even differentiate or separate what you feel, because you think what you're feeling is yours, and it's not your feelings. See, that's when empathy hits its max limit of what it can hold. See, empathy for a Pisces has a limit per Pisces. From Pisces to Pisces, your limit of empathy might not be the same as mine. That's what you can't forget. Because you have a limit, Pisces. You can only take so much. Don't compare yourself to Albert Einstein. Don't compare yourself to what's Mr. Rogers, or, the Cat in the Hat, or Dr. Seuss. Don't compare yourself and think that, oh, you have the same empathy on the max capacity as them. Now, because why? Your instinct always will say disappear when that limit is reached. When your limit is reached with those friends that you just don't want to be cool with no more, you're going to always hear that voice. Disappear. Get the hell away from them people. Just don't even show up no more. Just don't even answer their calls no more. And see, another thing is criticism or rejection. That can trigger you to escape, Pisces, through harsh, just whole nitpicky energy from what? It could be from a Virgo or a Capricorn type of zodiac signs that, hey, take your boundaries and throw them in the trash. This can make a Pisces feel like, oh, their soul is on a trial. See? Like in a court case. And see, a Pisces, they retreat not to sulk. See? It's not a pity party, but a Pisces may do this to recenter themselves in that innocence that they feel. Now, another thing is the fact of what? Loss of magic. See, when life feels mechanical to a Pisces, what are we talking about? Work, bills, routines, and all of a sudden they start to fade out what? Mentally. See, because the Pisces may crave that whole, when it's gone, because they like to build fantasies so that way they can survive. See? And that's the only way they can survive is when they're able to be creative. Now, the next reason that may trigger a Pisces to escape is the betrayal of trust. See? Because Pisces loves without armor. You can't do that, Pisces. That's like the kid. That's like you leaving the trick-or-treat candy out for the kids. Take one and you got it out there to where people can actually steal it. So you have to love with armor. See, you can't do it without it. It's like you wearing armor, just like a soldier, and you say, "Hey, I love you, but I have a shield just in case you don't love me." See, I have a shield and a sword just in case you don't love me. So if you get beside yourself in the midst of me loving you, I can also just block and then swipe. You see, if I have to. But if you don't have no armor and you say, "Hey, I love you," and you don't get that reciprocation, then you're gonna be hurt. See. And that's why people assume that you're gullible, because they think that you look at the world as being all good. See, because you have to prepare every day. You have to prepare for the adversary, the enemy, the villain. Instead of you being the victim, you have to be ready for something to pop out that's not normal, or something that you know was not expected, because everything is not good. Not everybody is trustworthy. Not everybody is good. Not everybody has good intentions. So a Pisces escape in that moment when being triggered is the fact that they can become emotional. See, it could feel like an anesthesia, just like when you get an anesthesia before you get a tooth pulled. You could feel emotional anesthesia taking place. And it could be, like I say, a silence through art or sleep. See, when you feel betrayed. Now, another thing is that could trigger you is that energetic pollution, which I mentioned. What is this? What is this in itself is what? Crowded rooms. See, that could feel like an energetic pollution, where you're in a crowded space, you crowded by people. You feel like every time you go somewhere, you feel claustrophobic because there's like, too many people in one spot. You never have space. See, you never have space to think. You never have space to, figure out how you're gonna, what you're gonna eat or what you're gonna cook. You could be triggered by gossip, constant screens and shit. When it comes to your aura, you tend to absorb static. See, so one of the things that you may do is you may unplug yourself. See, you may unplug yourself, or you just may ghost just to wash off that spiritual noise off yourself. Now, how can a Pisces escape consciously? Well, you got to create a schedule, see, to make time for yourself. Don't wait for the burnout to happen. Just plan a little quiet hour, those quiet hours for yourself to do those particular things daily, okay? Next thing you want to do is transmute, don't suppress. See, get rid of anything that you don't need, self-undo. Because why? You want to paint the pain, see? You want to sing the silence and journal the chaos. Now, you got to be able to ground yourself. See, this is why being a water sign is very hard for you to ground yourself. You have to. Because water plus movement, what is this going to do? It's going to reach purification. See? So this is why it actually feels good to take showers, hot showers when you feel stressed. Go for a swim or just simply stretch. See? So you do these things, and that's going to allow you to purify yourself, especially when you are the cosmic sponge. and you're soaking in and absorbing constantly other people's emotions and baggage and all kind of gunk. Okay, now use Virgo's discipline, your opposite polarity, in such situations, because this can help you. Because why? Your opposite polarity, your opposite sign, it teaches you to what? Structure. See, to structure the dreams instead of just feeling them. You can build from your opposite polarity. You just got to know how to use it. See? Now, another thing is that you're not running away when you're escaping. This is cold-blooded. You're not running away when you're escaping. What you're really doing is you're returning to the calmness before the next wave comes. See? Because a lot of times the waves ain't gonna stop coming, man. As long as you're a Pisces, the waves are gonna constantly keep coming. But like I say, you're just trying to return to the calmness. See? Now, another thing is the spiritual purpose of self-undoing. Well, when you're a Pisces, you're gonna your undoing isn't failure. See, it's rebirth. That's why I say that a Pisces soul can transform just like a Scorpio can, or situations. So it's through alchemy and rebirth. And see, when you let go of those false attachments, meaning those illusions that this is your friend and this is your wife and this is, you know, your whoever you find to be an attachment. See, by letting go of those false attachments, you recycle that pain into what? Compassion. Now, that's why when you're a Pisces, your energy oftentimes attracts people that are in crisis. It's cold-blooded. Because listen, when you are the most calm, that's when the compassion is more potent, it's more stronger. And it attracts the opposite. See? Like if you consider yourself a good person, you will attract the opposite of yourself. See? Because you can heal it. You wonder why all your customers have an attitude, because you're having a good day. See? Your smiles is to reflect to what? Change a person's mind and attitude. But you have to be the one to show it first. See? Because a lot of times it's very hard to what? Maintain and keep that smile going, even if you're not getting a reciprocation, even if other people are frowning at you or mugging you or just giving you the blank stares or, you know, having a resting, you know, face. Still got to smile. See? Because when the sun's out, guess what? Whoever doesn't like it, if it gets too hot, what are they going to do? They're going to leave. See? So that's why you can't run from it. Now, when it comes to a Pisces, like I said, attracting people in crisis, your soul knows how to what? Remake the light out of those endings. Now, every time a Pisces escape, just know that they're not avoiding life, and nothing in regards to that. They're just remembering who they were before the noise. See, you can't. It's all about not losing yourself, because you can if you were constantly absorbing other people's problems and traumas and adopting them as your own. Now, when it comes to a Pisces escaping the situation, just never forget that, you guys, because like I say, a lot of people had this confused thinking that, oh, you Pisces, oh, you guys are delusional, and hey, you guys just escape things that get too hard. It's like, no. A Pisces has their own way of getting back to themselves. See, in order to get back to who you are, you have to pull back. You have to escape. Think about it like this. Everybody's trying to take your energy. Everybody's trying to feed off your energy. We look at people that try to feed off your energy 24/7 as what? An energy vampire. As an energy vampire. So if you got people that's always trying to feed off your energy, how much energy would you have for yourself? None. But if you self-undo and you escape in the right way, you're going to shed those archetypes. You're going to shed those archetypes and you're going to find yourself. See, you're going to find yourself and get back to your center, your calm center. And you're going to say, damn, man, what's the name? You're going to be like, whoever came to you feeding off your energy, you're going to say, damn, what's the name, man, really going through it right now. Because now you found yourself. Now you realize just how painful, or hey, now you know who's really in crisis. But as long as you're around these people 24/7, you're going to feel like you're in crisis. You're going to feel like you're stressed, or you're going to feel like you're suffering. See? Because you're constantly connected to these people every day. So when they're miserable and they're trauma dumping on you, and you don't break away, you're going to be feeling worse because you're holding their energy. See, that's any time a person miserable, that's all they're doing is they're holding on to energy. They're holding on to pain. They're holding on to disappointments, and they're sharing it with you. See, because you open your ear, you open up your spiritual eyes, and you allow all that information, and you see what they're going through. And then it starts to trigger your body, your nervous system. You start getting nervous. You start getting stressed or over emotional overload. That's the new ice cream sundae at Culver's. You start feeling like, hey man, I feel stressed by listening to you talk. It's time for a change. It's time for a breakaway. That's why the Pisces escapes. Pisces knows that if I sit here another 20 minutes and listen to you complain, and you won't take my advice to leave Dante alone, and to become single. If you keep on staying with Dante and keep coming back to back with this same story about how Dante cheated on you, I'm going to escape from you because I notice this thing is toxic now. See, this person is not trying to get away from Dante. This person is trying to drain my energy. So there's nothing wrong with anybody that questioned this or had questions regarding this. There's nothing wrong with escape. Escape doesn't mean failure. Escape doesn't mean, oh, I'm running from something. No, this means that you're coming back to your center. You're shedding off those archetypes. Because once you find yourself and say, oh man, damn, this was never about me. This was more about them. What the hell was I thinking? This person brought my whole day down because they didn't want to get right. But hey, as soon as I escaped, while that person was talking to me about something that was bringing my spirit down at the gas station, as soon as I escaped and went to McDonald's and had a ice cream and a hamburger, I felt better and back to my center. So I just switched my environment. Now I'm back calm again. Now I feel like I'm myself. See? Now, when you feel like yourself, Pisces, that's when you're much more productive. That's when you can heal quicker. You can heal others once you get back to your calmness. Because why? Be like water. Be like water means what? You're not formed. You're not formed. You're formless. So nothing that comes near you is not going to block you. It's not going to block you from being yourself. See, if something were to come around you that is not for you, you will maneuver around it. But if you're smothered, there's no escape. You could actually see, it's so crazy because you can be held hostage with somebody else's their meltdown, or they're constantly just hitting you with trauma stories and just dumping on you every day about, they haven't had lunch in 3 days, and you keep hearing that every single day from this person. They're going to drain you because you just won't break away from them. You keep opening yourself up to their energy. Let me see. Ronnie Boo said, yeah, definitely. The trauma dumping is contagious. It's very toxic, because like trauma dumping is, you got misery. Okay, so misery loves company. Okay, so if someone's having a shitty day, they want you to have one too. So if they see that you're all, calm, do you notice, like, as soon as you're calm and you're minding your own business, you're in Starbucks, sipping on a coffee, the most miserable person comes and sits near you or next to you or in front of you. And then you're taking double takes at your computer or your phone, and you're like, wow, this person looks so miserable. What the hell is going on? They disturbed. The energy shifts right in front of you. But here's the thing, Pisces. You can love with armor. You don't have to feel sorry for this mother effer in front of you. You can listen, but you don't have to. You could carry on and keep typing and keep looking in your phone, keep your conversation going, and just don't react to this person's misery, because it's not your fault that they're in it. Okay, because some Pisces feel like, oh, you're here in front of me, and I just can't just see you suffer like this. You look like shit, or hey, I don't want to just not say anything or help you, but then you end up getting hurt, Pisces. You might not get hurt physically, but you might get hurt emotionally, because that person they didn't ask to be healed. See, that's cold-blooded, because they're not asking you to be healed. See, a person could take advantage of, that's an energy vampire, a person that didn't ask to be healed, but they come sit next to you and it's something wrong. It's to make you feel what? That's emotional manipulation. But see, the thing is that you got some Pisces that when that happens, that lets you know that you're in a calm place. And that's why you wonder, oh man, why when I'm the most calm, everybody wants to come crowd me. They want to come crowd around me, sitting next to me. And I feel like, wow, can I catch a break? Like, I remember one time where I was at work. I'll share this story with y'all. I was at work, and it was an Aries that I was working with for the night on third shift. And this guy came, he's older man. Me and him were working in the I'm gonna actually post a short video and show him what he did, just so you guys will see what the hell what I had to go through for the night. Now, it was his first night working. I don't know how he got the job, but anyway, we're sitting there working, and he had a Mountain Dew in his hand. So I'm like, okay. I didn't really care, because I was the manager. I'm like, I don't really care if he carries the Mountain Dew with him. But he said, hey man, I'm gonna go on my tours. I said, okay, cool. We were security guards. He's like, I'm gonna go do a tour. I said, what area are you gonna go do a tour at? He's like, I'm gonna go through the boiler room. I'm like, okay. Just seeing how looking in his eyes, he looked tired as shit. I'm like, okay, he's tired. He better not go in the boiler room and go to sleep somewhere. Because I'm watching the cameras and I'm like, he don't look like he gonna make it. He looked at just super tired in the face. Next thing you know, on radio, I hear the radio. He must have tried to, radio me. And he's like, hey man, I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm like, I knew that's the Pisces just knows things before it even happened. Before words even say it, Pisces felt it already. He's like, man, I'm gonna go get a drink. I know it was hot as hell in that boiler room, and he had a huge coat on, and he looked tired. So I'm like, I already know he's gonna want a water, not that Mountain Dew. And then he comes back in the office. He kicks his feet up. I'm like, and then he's like, next thing you know, he just started crying. He's like, Mama, come get me. Mama, get me out of here. Come get me. And literally, he just kicked his feet up. He falls on the floor and has like a seizure. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I didn't know what to think or to say. It just happened out of nowhere. But I remember asking him his zodiac sign, and he said he was an Aries. So that's how I knew he was an Aries. Before he decided to, have the seizure, all this stuff started to just transpire. I'm just looking and I'm confused because I'm like, what the hell is going on? He's on the floor. He's kicking like somebody done hit him with an AK. He's just kicking his feet and just going, talking to somebody, calling somebody's name out, saying, Mama, come get me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I called the EMS. I called the, EMS, the ambulance, to come get him, right, to see what the hell's going on. So they put the little test on him, ran the little test, and they said, oh man, yeah, bro, your blood sugar is down, oh, are you diabetic, sir? He's like, yeah, doing that. And then he wasn't really talking much, but then they're like, hey man, your sugar's low. So the Mountain Dew made sense. And I'm like, bro, why do I always experience crisis? Why does this happen on my shift? Why does none of this bull crap happen on first shift for somebody else? So it was like every time on third shift, I had to work with the most. I just had the most intense, chaotic, like, employees and series of events happening on my shift. So I called the ambulance. They come, and like I said, they said, oh, sir, your blood sugar is a little low there. Let's get him a Mountain Dew. Oh, yeah, this was what he had, a Mountain Dew. Why didn't this guy tell me he had this situation beforehand? I would have told him, no, you're not going in no boiler room, my guy. You're going to sit down and drink this Mountain Dew. I wouldn't even had him do any tours for the night. Now, here's the thing. Check it out. After he fell, this is the thing. They asked me, oh, sir, do you think he should need to take a ambulance home instead of, because he had his truck there? Of course, he's look at the condition, right? So they're like, well, just so you know, just for the ambulance to transport him to, the hospital, that's gonna be a $5,000 charge. I'm like, well, I guess, well, how's he gonna go? So the ambulance took him to where it was a $5,000 charge. And then all of a sudden, they gave him his job back, right? And this was not funny, but it was kind of like crazy, because when he gave him his job back, he wanted to go to a different shift. I'm like, bro, I looked out for you. I called the freaking EMS or whatever, right? They saved you because it wasn't nothing that I could do for you. And the thing about it is, like, when he was sitting in his seat, he literally threw his You ever seen somebody belly flop? He threw his legs up in the air in the seat. This is a grown man like in his 60s. He threw his legs in the air and he literally like rock bottom, like power drive or power bombed his back like to the floor. And I was just like, then the crazy thing is when he was yelling out he was like, mama, come get me, come get me, come get me. He farted. He farted, and I heard in his fart, I heard a bunch of, like, it wasn't like no boom, like a explode, like a smothered honey bun, or it was just like when he farted, he shit himself. All of this happened simultaneously in that office on my shift. So they said, do you want to work back on the shift? And he said, hell no. He said, I had to come off of $5,000 for that effort. So now I feel attacked. The Pisces helped your ass get to the hospital because your blood sugar was low. So now you hate me because you got taxed, what, $5,000? Are you kidding me? And you freaking, you sharded in your fucking underwear and now you think it's my fault? So the man gets his job back, and guess what happens, you guys? He couldn't even finish his shift. He quit. He walked out. Security jobs are not for everybody. That's what the moral of the story is. Don't take a security job. You just sit in the office and do absolutely nothing and check cameras all fucking night. There's nothing to it. But if you got issues or something, it's not good to do security work. Especially that boiler room tour he took. That tour, guess how long that tour takes? An hour. An hour. You got to go in the hot, boiling. It doesn't even look like a place you want to work. Because in the boiler room in that company, it's a warehouse. It's dark. There's no lights. There's very few. There's barely any lighting. No employees because it's third shift are even there. So you hear noises. You don't know if it's ghosts running around in that dark warehouse. There's cubicles everywhere. So you doing your tour, you have that flashlight, and it's a lot of ghostly looking ish going on in the dark in there. You be hearing stuff, seeing stuff, and you gotta check the doors and make sure everything's locked. I'm like, bro, you ain't no way you're gonna get through that. And now you're asking for a water when you should have just said, give me my Mountain Dew. You see, this is why. Aries, you need to stop doing this, man. If you're going to be direct, at least say, hey, man, before I jump in this pool, before I jump in this water, do you know if it's water in there before I take this jump? And I would have said, no, man. Take the Mountain Dew with you. Can't even make a damn cheese toast. This was silly to me because it's like, you're a grown man, dude. He handled that like a damn kid, bro. He could have just said, hey, man, I got this issue going. I got to have my Mountain Dew, and I can't do any tours tonight. I would have said, oh, man, don't even worry about it. I'll handle it. Don't even worry about it. That's the thing. So when it comes to Aries, is like I say, Aries likes to be impulsive, likes to take off and run and jump into a situation not thinking. See? And then me, I had a Virgo boss. See? And my Virgo boss thought I was causing problems. That nobody would stick that they hired. Everybody that worked on third shift quit, or they had some episode happen. One guy came in that worked there. He got some dust in his eye. Dude, I was so freaking pissed. I just started my shift, and literally, there was a guy working on third. He came in there and said, hey, I think I got some dust in my eye from my station. I'm like, I wanted to, man, if I had my water in my hand and I was in that office, I would have literally smashed. I can't say all of that, but I was furious. Cause this guy, he had something in his eye, and it wasn't no damn dust. He's working in a warehouse where it's all kind of little particles from the shavings of, them working on the machines and stuff. Something got in his eyes. Like, why aren't you wearing your safety glasses? Like, where are your safety glasses? Oh, well, I actually didn't put my safety glasses on when I worked at my station. Like, idiot. I just spilled my water all over my damn pants, bro. I guess got too involved in the conversation. But yeah. Safety glasses. Put them on. Put your hair. Like, I don't understand. Like, this guy came to me and said, well, I didn't put my safety glasses on because I just got to work. Like, you're the first, man. In my mind, I'm like, bro, how am I going to get this damn shit out of his eye? So me, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. In this point, this part of the job, I told him to sit down. I said, what eye do you have? And he's like, oh, this one. And I'm like, open your eye. And I felt like it was just like, I felt like I was activating the diddler, okay? Just because I said, hey, man, open your eye. Or I was even going to take my fingers and like basically touch his eyeball with like making it. You know how when you test to see if a tomato is ripe, you grab it and you pinch it to see if the dehydration, just like if you was to grab the skin on your arm and then you let it go and then you see how fast you see how fast the skin goes back into your arm, and you could tell if you're dehydrated, right? Well, I'll do that when I go to the grocery store and I check and pinch the tomatoes. I grab them and I pinch and then I hold it and see if it extends. So I was basically thinking about all this while I had my little hands like getting ready to start on his eye. I'm like, dude, let me just get this over with right now. So I literally about to try to go open his eye, and I was going to go, and he didn't even give me a chance to do that. Then I found out in the freaking handbook, call the paramedics. See, this is the stuff that this is why I do grocery shopping, man. Because I like to go in the store, do the grocery shopping, and that's it. That's all I gotta do, and deliver it. I don't gotta go putting no gloves on, putting the peroxide on the cut, because it, what lies in the cut is what cleans the cut, right? I don't gotta do all that. I don't gotta do all that, those reports and none of that crap. See? But that's the thing, guys. It's just that Aries doesn't listen to anything, and they don't follow. Like, they don't give you something to be like, hey, you need this, or hey, you gotta have this, or something's gonna happen. They ask questions later, if they are even able to ask them. There was a situation with the Aries. He got arrested. He did a crime. He got arrested. And you know what this man does? Once he got locked up, he said, oh, is there a way I could bail out? Like, it's just like the way he went about it was like, what realm are you in, dude? Like, it's just like, can I bail out? And it was like the way he just like literally just went to jail, and he's like, yo, can I bail out? I'm like, bro, just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, don't do a crime. You know, if you're gonna freaking ask questions later, it's just pointless to me. Like, dude, you did a freaking crime. You're gonna go to jail, dude. This is a freaking laws. They apply when you do something wrong, man. You're not, what are you doing? Like, where's your cognitive like skills, dude? Like, Aries just doesn't think first. They just go for it, and they're just, you know, take off, and then boom, they do some stupid crap, and then when it's time to pay the consequences, now they're all like, oh, like they're all calm. This is the problem. They're calm about what they just did, but they try to make it seem like they did something normal. They're like, oh yeah, scratching their head like, they're like, oh yeah, well, I just busted that bank's window, so they don't even try to they really self-incriminate themselves. They'll say something like, the police show up, and then they'll say, hey, what happened? An Aries will say exactly what they did. Well, this is the problem. See, we were arguing, and he's gonna tell me that I'm a son of a gun, and that, you know, I'm this and I'm that, and hey, he's gonna take me out and punch me if I say something. So I reached in my bag and I grabbed an axe, and I just threw it in his freaking, you know. And then it's like, bro, you just self-incriminated yourself. They didn't even have to find any evidence. You are the evidence. You just told on yourself and just said, hey, I hit him in the effing such and such with an axe. Now you're in behind bars, and you're acting like you're surprised, like, oh, I just jumped off a cliff, and hey, I didn't know that there wasn't anything to catch me, so now my legs broke. Like, idiot, bro. Like, of course your leg was gonna break. You jumped off a freaking bridge, dude. But Aries always act surprised when the consequences hit. They're like, oh, well, I guess when I jumped off that bridge, I thought I was gonna catch myself, but I didn't realize it was a 20-foot drop. Like, bro, like, would you start actually just like grow up, man? Like, dude, there's rules applied to things, like common sense, dude. Hey, can I bail out like tonight? No. Hey, you know, is there any way, instead of me eating these, you know, is there any other type of food instead of the the jail? Said, hey, is there anything else instead of this? You know, they always think they can. It's like they think they can get something different. They try to be picky and choosy about what they eat. You know, hey, if you know, there's no need. Hey, you want some money on your books, bro? No, man, I don't need none of that ish. No, I don't want any. No, I'm just not gonna eat. Like, okay. Then you go back in there and check on that same Aries that said he wasn't gonna eat. And now he's passing out, you know, he's looking weak and dehydrated. Hey man, I think you should eat, Aries. No, man, I'm good. Next thing you know, his skin getting brittle, then drop like 20 pounds. I think you should eat, Aries. No, I'm good, man. No, now he get rushed to the hospital, and, you know, now he's on a stretcher. Stop doing that, Aries. Just listen, man. Get out of your freaking ego, bro. Because Aries get so stubborn like that, to where they will literally bring they will hurt their family members and loved ones just because they don't listen. They're just stubborn like that. Oh, they just don't like other people to control them or tell them what to do. Because they feel like them listening to you, they feel like they're giving up power or something. Like they're giving up their will. See? So that's something to pay attention to. Like every sign has their stubborn ways. I'm just letting you guys know when it comes to Aries, it's on a whole nother level of stubbornness. Seriously. I mean, like I say, Nathan, I feel like you writing in like, I don't know, man. It's like you gotta see, this is the thing. When I do my content, I don't sugarcoat anything. I say it as I say it, as I visioned it, with tact. But like I say, if you come here and like, people that sugarcoat things aren't telling you the truth. See, there's so many people that try to give you watered down content because they're afraid of, oh, someone's gonna unsubscribe if I give the truth. But me, I'd rather tell you the truth. See, because listen, if I was to get on here and say, oh yeah, every Aries is so good, man, yeah, more power to you, I'll be lying to myself. See, where every sign has, yeah, a shadow side. Yes, every sign has a bad, has some bad in them. So yeah, I'm gonna mention everything. But I'm not gonna get on here and say, oh yeah, Pisces and Aries are the best of friends. I'm not gonna get on here and lie and just to be like, oh, just to save face and just to be like, oh no, well, I don't want to rub nobody the wrong way or make somebody feel. It's not even about that. It's just the truth hurts. And if it doesn't apply to you, it just doesn't apply to you. But if you get offended, maybe this isn't the channel for you. See? Because yeah, it's the stuff that we all hear, something that we don't want to hear. But hey, it's almost like there's some people that want to actually know the truth so they can change. Now, let me see. Who's what? Arnold, who are you talking about, bro? That's crazy. Yeah, Misty, that's crazy when you say your niece are Aries and she always calling AAA. See? But that's the thing, but there's another side of Aries too, that they like to hide things. They don't like to tell people if they need help with something, they can go to the wrong people for that type of information. Go through friends that are not really their friends. They can be dependent or just too trusty over, with friends over family. They can actually push away the people that actually care about them and actually want people. They can actually just have the wrong people around them and think those people are their real friends or that they care about them. See, because I think a lot of Aries, that have that childlike energy, they oftentimes can get persuaded or manipulated or just like they can get influenced easily. See, because if something sounds more interesting where they can get involved in it, that can be in a manipulation that a lot of Aries can fall for. Like if they see a situation like, oh, I can actually get out here and do something that's, fraudulent, a lot of times they might do it because it makes them, get active, but that might actually it could be karmic, it could be their detriment, because Aries loves doing things that are like, it's like intense. It's like it really gets them get them going, movement. So a lot of times that's why they don't think about if there's water there first. See, now another thing too is Aries can be very sensitive. Not a lot of people talk about this. They're very reactive. See, with Mars influence here, the planet of Mars. So it's oftentimes where they actually just get set off easily. Like, it don't take much to piss off an Aries and have them wanting to just rage. They can actually see us at different levels of anger. So you got your, frustration, then you got your pissed off, then you got your full-blown rage. And that's how it is with Aries. It's like, it's an explosive rage. So if you say something to them that, hey, if you tell a Pisces, man, you a piece of crap, or hey man, you're no good, you just say some just trash talking. But if you trash talk that same way to an Aries, you might actually get yourself really hurt. You might actually, because there's nothing gonna stop them from like trying to prove anything. They'll actually, but this is the thing you gotta pay attention to. What do you think? What weapon do you think that Aries would reach for if they were to get it, pissed off? I'm gonna tell you the number one weapon that an Aries would reach for: a knife. Okay, switchblade. That's the first weapon that a Aries reach for. And when they do that whole thing, like I say, they'll actually come at you and start, trying to really, poke you and really take you out over trash talking. See that? So it's like they're very sensitive. You say something to them, they get on that type of timing. See? And here's the thing. The more you back down, the more they actually want to do it to you. See? And then they get mad because you don't do it. You don't react. See? So you got to be careful. And also they like to argue. So like if you get into a debate with them and hey, you like the Bucks, they like the Lakers, they can really they can get into a real huge debate with you. And then if that turns to an argument, they'll get off on that. See? So you just got to be careful. Another thing too is that you can't make an Aries want to do something you want to do. They're very independent. They don't really like to join a team. They don't always want to be like, oh, hey man, you want to go let's say you want to go work out, you want to go play, ball or basketball or something. They might be like, nah, they be wanting to drive themselves. They don't really want to be riding along with you. See, they want to be in control and be the first one to do something they want to do. Because they go against that whole let's go together, let's do this, with that. But Pisces is all about merging. Pisces likes to merge. So a Pisces will say like let's go together, let's go hoop, or let's go do this. But not an Aries, man. Aries is wants to be solo. They'll come hoop with you, but they want to drive their own car. They want to be able to like control what happens. Like, oh, after they hoop, they want to just, do what they want pretty much. That's just like Scorpio's the same way. Scorpio wants to do what they want to do. See? So if you say, hey, you try to make a pit stop at Quick Trip or try to go do something else, Scorpio is so damn controlling and hell bent and just look at what they want to do. They might be like, no, I ain't stopping at no Quick Trip. I'm about to go straight home type shit. And it's like, you could feel like, damn, you just want to do what you want to do. So you gotta really pay attention to that. But let me see. Brianna, what's going on? Welcome to the live. Said, yep, no, forethought. Man, she said she had a haunted house years ago and had a 25 actors in them putting scary contacts and it was time. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they definitely do follow their own rules. Yeah, definitely. Let me see my fault. Yeah, so I wanted to know too, guys. do y'all like the lives like this, like the regular, like how it is now, or the way that I used to do the lives? Since I was like I could do either or, but like I say, it just right now I just got off work, so I had to do do this type of live video like this. But yeah, what sign do you guys want to see me do next, or break down, or anything anybody may want me to do? I appreciate that, BU 10,000. I do both. Okay, bet. Um, it's just so I try to involve y'all into the equation either way. But yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, guys. Share this video to somebody you may feel that needs to see it or want to see it. And thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.